Now, one of the problems with making a cross grain cut like this is that the end grain normally will tear out because it hasn't been supported by something. It's real easy to fix that, and I'll show you a little trick that we use in the shop, and that is to replace the standard miter gauge with one of these backer blocks. And because this wood edge will now be supported, you'll see that the cut turns out much cleaner here. And what a difference it makes with a back block in there. You can see that the edge is nice and clean and there is no tear out, and it was mainly because of this. Tear out is a very unsightly problem and usually results in fibers being literally torn from the surface of the wood as opposed to being cleanly cut. Now, it happens more often on end grain, as you see here, as opposed to the long grain or the ripping cuts. The problem is particularly evident on plywood, and you can see here the very thin veneer on the top of that board has been literally torn from that surface. Let me show you a technique that you can use with a little bit of tape to make a splinter-free cut even with a blade that's not as sharp. So the first thing we're going to do is take a piece of tape. This would be on the bottom edge where you would normally have a little bit of tear out, and we're going to put a piece of tape right down that potential cut line. We're going to invert this board, so now the cut line's on the bottom, and you would normally expect to see a little tear out. And now removing this tape should show you a very nice clean line at the bottom. And one last trick to show you how to minimize the tear out in a cross grain cut like this is to use a zero clearance insert. You may not have realized when I was doing this that this is a zero clearance insert, but it didn't come with the saw. This particular one is plywood. We've made this real easily to slide into the saw and create a very, very tight gap between the side of that saw blade and the edge of this cutout. As we run that cut through, because the fibers will be sheared straight down, you will not get that line on there. You can see that that face-up cut now left no torn fibers, and using a zero clearance insert eliminated the torn fibers on the bottom. The actual cutout that goes in this saw is a steel one like this. And you'll notice with the steel one, the opening is much larger, allowing a lot more potential for tear out between the side of this blade and that opening. Here's a tip to help you quickly and accurately set the height of your table saw blade. You can gather up scraps of plywood or other stock in the common thicknesses you normally use, and then cut them into uniform squares. Label each one of these for reference. And now just drill a hole in them and hang them off a peg next to your table saw. When using a jigsaw, we want to put the good side down. In this particular jigsaw, we have an orbital action. This one is set at 3, it's got a scale from 1 to 3, and at 3, the orbital action is very aggressive. It's usually meant to cut bigger woods faster, but it leaves a very rough cut. In this case, we want to turn this down to 1. That will give us a much straighter action and a much smoother cut. And I've put a line on here already, and we're going to follow that line and show you what this cut looks like. And again, because it cut the good side down, the cut here is an extremely clean one. On the opposite side, there is a bit of fray, which would take a little bit more sanding to get out. In summary, regardless of which tool you use, to get the cleanest cuts, make sure that the teeth of that blade cut down into the face of the material rather than cut up. Now, when routing, we always route end grain first, and here's the reason. If you'll notice on the edge here, we have some tear out, and that's because the end grains were not supported as we made that cross grain route. But as we route the face grain now, it'll remove that. And you can see here now that the end grain is nice and clean because we went that way. When you're routing, always route counterclockwise with a hand router, starting with end grain and then going around that board. In a router table, you're turning the router upside down, so in that case, route clockwise, again, beginning with the end grain, then face grain, then end grain. That will eliminate these tear out problems with end grain routing.